Welcome back. It's the Kovacs report, and the reviews are going to continue with a new #1 from Marvel, The Undead. Iron Fist. Danny Rand returns to save the Iron Fist legacy. Now, I have not read a ton of Iron Fist stuff. I sort of dipped into it a few years ago. I think he's a cool character. But the thought of an Undead version piqued my interest by Jason Loo and Fran Galán. So we're going to dive into it page by page. There will be spoilers, of course. Like the video if you like the video. Hit subscribe if you can. With that out of the way, let's read what it says here. It says, once orphaned and raised in the mythical land of Kunlun, Danny Rand plunged his fist into the mystical dragon, Xiaolao the Undying, removing its heart to become the protector of the realm, the Iron Fist. After spending years as a hero for hire, avenger and defender, Danny was killed by a villain possessed by the killer of Iron Fists, the Chi Lun. Danny Rand is now the undead Iron Fist. So what we do is we start off here with Luke Cage, and he's visiting a grave, and we get this narrative over the top. We don't know who this is. Who this is actually. It says, go forth and settle your score, but know this, your time is short. So old Luke Cage, long-term best buddy of Danny Rand, turns up. He's heartbroken that his friend is dead, and he's delivering some flowers to his grave. And then we find out the grave has been dug out. Now, what I don't understand, I know it's a small thing, right? Because the book isn't bad, right? It's how do you walk up to a grave that you're looking at, manage to put flowers down next to it, kneel down to the grave, and not notice till the last minute that it's been completely dug out? Anyway, I don't get it. I guess it's for effect, but here we go. So he knows that his friend is missing. Now, this implies that he has risen yet again. And that's exactly what has happened. He has risen from the dead. So it says, you were born into riches, the heir of a business empire. Later trained to be an ultimate weapon in a faraway mystical land. You became immortal by slaying a mystical dragon. Then you came down to earth as a defender for the oppressed, a hero for hire. So we're introducing, we're getting him all pumped up that this is Danny Rand. And here he is, looking at these folks, this family, peering out the window with these red eyes. They look like they are possessed by demons, and that's exactly what they are. This family is possessed by demons because this new Iron Fist has a new remit. He's got a new job to do, and we're going to get to that. What we do is we jump back to the underworld, right, where we see Danny Rand climbing out of, I guess, the underworld, climbing out of hell. He's not giving up, okay? And it talks about his perseverance and his undying spirit that keeps him going. And he gets to the top and he sees something that he's all too familiar with. Yes, this big white dragon. We know who that is. And this dragon sends him spiraling down. As he falls in this flashback, we jump back to now as he's being kicked down the stairs in the physical world, while Granny here is about to kill him, and Granddad and this young child. Now, what's happening is that, like I say, they have been possessed by demons. And the twist is he has been sent back to the real world to get these demons out of these people and save them. But the thing is, no one else can see their true forms. Only Danny Rand. So Danny Rand sees the demons that everyone else around him sees him kicking the living hell out of a grandma and her daughter or grandchild. So that's what they see, and they don't know what's going on. So for all intents and purposes, he looks like the villain here, but he doesn't care. He just ignores the cries from the public. He's not interested. He's got a job to do, and this is what he sees. And that right there is a perfect example of what he's seeing, these grotesque demons. Now, we get the usual sort of kung fu moves that are announced by their move name, which is synonymous with this book, and it's what you expect. And the fight scenes, they're dynamic. The paneling is different. You feel the motion, you feel the thooms and the swishes and everything else. And it's pretty cool. So we go through some of his moves. Rushing gazelle stomp, swift osprey claw. Exactly what you expect from an Iron Fist book. Now, the public, they're videoing this, of course, so it's going to go viral. Iron Fist is out there essentially beating up innocent people as far as they're concerned. But then we see again what he's dealing with. So he escapes the public and he descends into the sewers to pursue some of these demons that are fleeing. And then Miles Morales pops up for no apparent reason. I don't know. Maybe they're in Brooklyn. Well, anyway, Miles Morales is there and he's like, what's going on? So he follows Iron Fist down into the sewers. Now, when he gets into the sewers, he does this, his little sting. He does this big, huge venom blast into the water to see what the hell's going on. And suddenly he can see the demons. It's not explained why he can see them, but suddenly he can now see the demons. I don't know why. Why is Miles Morales in here? Purely for 2 pages, right? To venom blast the water so he can see the demons. Maybe later on he's going to be, stick up for Iron Fist. I don't know. It just seems really a bit off that he's just thrown in here for a page or 2. Anyway, we get back to this flashback to the underworld, and we see him slowly but surely crawling out of the underworld. Of course, Spidey, there's going to have a fight. There's some quips, there's some thwips, is everything that you expect. They have a little throwdown, but Iron Fist, he's had enough. So he channels all of his power and he punches the ground with the rays of Ra, sending those demons back to where they came. And of course, Spidey goes, whoa, what's going on? Misty sent me to try and find you. She's worried about you because she saw all the kerfuffle that was going on the internet. And now I know, what's going on. But Iron Fist says, listen, I don't need no friends. Yeah, just stay out of my way. Just stay out of my way. And then he vanishes off back outside to keep fighting more demons, where we get, a kind of cool page silhouetted out where he's doing his pouncing cheetah kick, death winds push, ostrich spring kick, laughing jackal prance. And we get more of the same. Until we get to the end where we get a little reveal, because the person that has been narrating his escape or waiting for him and helping him get out of the underworld is none other than Orson Randall, a predecessor of Danny Rand as Iron Fist. And he says, listen, are you ready for your first lesson? The book of the Iron Fist, everything we learned was a lie. So there's a big reveal there. We've got Orson Randall. We've learned that he's climbed out of hell and Orson Randall helped him get out. And we also learn that everything that they've learnt, the whole belief system has been a lie. So what is that lie? What's been going on? And that, I guess, is what we're going to find out in the next issue. So all in all, right, I'm not a big Danny Rand fan, but you know what? I quite enjoyed it. It's all set up, of course, which I found a little bit disappointing. I think some of it was stretched out a little bit, but there's an interesting story that could be told here. Now, when the writer Loo was announced, there was mixed feelings about it. I think he's worked on a lot of other books that haven't been well received by the fans. So I was 50-50 going into this. But you know what? It's got me in enough to give it another go. Anyway, those are my thoughts. Are you a big Iron Fist fan? Do you think this story has legs or fists, as the case may be? Let me know in the comments. Like the video if you like the video. And of course, hit that subscribe button. I'm trying to grow this channel. It helps me, it gives me that oomph to keep on making videos, and I really, really enjoy. You're always going to get an honest opinion here. So if you are new, please do hit that subscribe button before you leave. I'd really, really appreciate it. So until next time, read more comics, and hopefully we'll see you in the next review.